Hey everybody, it is Dak here from the Ed Boys, and welcome to my OSRS 1 to 99 Agility Guide. The goal of this guide is to give you any information you might need for training your agility at any level. These are not all the possible ways to get agility XP, these are just the methods that I prefer to use. In this guide, I'm going to start with some quests that you can do to get a jump start in your agility training, and then we'll talk about some helpful items for just your regular agility training, not those quests necessarily. Then we're going to jump into the leveling guide, which is going to have all the methods that I'd use for my 99 agility, and afterwards I'll discuss a few alt methods for those that don't like the original leveling guide. Finally, we'll discuss the benefits of having a high agility level. There's a few quests that you can do to get a jump start on agility training. Using your quests for your early levels results in getting your full graceful at a higher level, but quests are also important for your overall account progress, meaning that you're going to want to get them done eventually anyways. You might as well do them early to skip over some of those boring agility grinds. The tourist trap gives you XP lamps that can be put into a few different skills, but it's suggested to go for agility since it'll take you from 1 to 26 agility. The grand tree takes you above 30 agility, which will unlock the ability for the Cold War quest, and you could also do Icthorin's Little Helper, which has no requirements other than the other quests you have to do in there. If you did just tourist trap in the grand tree, it would take you to 32 agility, and if you added the other two, you'd be at 36, which is a pretty good start. And if you wanted to do even more quests, I have left a link to the full list of quests in the description. There are a few items that can be helpful while training agility. First, I'm going to talk about stamina potions. Agility training is purely just running around on different courses, really, so you're going to need some run energy while you do it. It only matters too much at lower levels and a couple of special courses, and you don't actually need to use staminas if you don't have them. Energy potions or super energy potions could work, especially for you Ironmen, but anytime that you're running out of energy, you're wasting a little bit of XP, so it's worth bringing some potions to stop that from happening. Having weight-reducing clothing will also slow down how much run energy you use. The most helpful weight-reducing clothing is the graceful outfit, which is a reward from doing agility, so obviously you can't get it right away. There's other good weight-reducing clothing like the boots of lightness and the spottier cape, but it's more important to just not bring heavy things with you when you're at lower levels. Even wearing nothing is going to make a difference on your XP rates compared to wearing some of your normal gear. Agility potions and summer pies both can temporarily boost your agility level, which can be helpful for upgrading to better agility courses at lower levels. The summer pie gives a +5 agility boost and the potion gives a +3. For the example course, we'll use Artie, which requires 90 agility. You could do this course at 85 agility with a summer pie, but you do only get 1 minute max with 90 agility from each half of the pie, and the same would work for agility potions at 87. I would start using the pies at 87 agility though, and maybe the potions at 88, because that gives you a little bit of leeway. You then get a couple minutes per sip or per eat instead of having to go through a ton of food or potions. The potions aren't quite worth using if you're just on a main. You can just buy the pies, but either way they're going to help you out a little bit. For the leveling guide, I'm still going to start each course at the required level for those without access to the boost, but if you're trying to buy some pies, you could start each section 3 to 5 levels earlier. Alright, let's get into that leveling guide. I'm going to start at level 1 for those who didn't want to get any questing done. Levels 1 to 10 you can run around the Gnome Agility course. This is located just outside of the Grand Tree. Most agility courses are very straightforward. You've got like 5 to 10 obstacles you go through, and you generally get a lot of XP on the very last obstacle, as long as you did all the others and didn't just skip to the end. In most courses you can't skip to the end. Some of them you'll notice you could, but you won't get as much XP that way. These XP rates tend to be pretty consistent other than the courses that you can fail some of the obstacles. Levels 10 to 20 you can move on to the Draenor Rooftop Agility course. The Rooftop Agility courses are the only ways to collect Marks of Grace, which can be turned in to get your graceful outfit or for some amylase crystals, which are used to make stamina potions and can be sold for a little bit of profit. If you're looking for more information on how to get the graceful outfit, I'll be talking about it a little bit more in the benefits section of the video. Levels 20 to 30 you can move to the Al-Kharid Rooftop course. You're still very low agility level at this point, so you shouldn't be here for very long. At level 30, you can now start doing the Varrock Rooftop course. You might be noticing that the XP rates aren't going up very quickly, but that tends to be the case with agility. It's a very slow 99 overall, but it's extremely helpful to have high agility level for just about every other thing you work on in the game. Levels 40 to 60, I would go to the Canifis Agility course. You are going to need to complete the Priest in Peril quest to unlock the Canifis area, but this turns out to be some of the best Marks of Grace rates you're going to get in all of your agility training. If you don't do any quests, then you should have enough marks to get the outfit between 56 and 60 agility, depending on your RNG, but if you did some quests for the early XP, then you might not get the outfit until the next section of the guide. This doesn't necessarily mean the outfit took you more agility, you just got to add in the time that you were questing where you don't get any Marks of Grace from it. I'd like to at least mention the Wilderness Agility course, which you can do at 52 agility. The Wilderness course has better XP rates than the Canifis course, but you obviously can't get any marks of grace here. It's not a rooftop course. There's some added risk to the Wilderness Agility, since it is in the very deep wilderness. You could get PK'd while you're out there. It's not really a hot spot for PKers, though, since nobody brings expensive stuff with them when you're going to train agility, but there's going to be PKers occasionally. There's always someone. Also, if you've purchased any of your graceful clothing at this point, I would not bring it with you since that's a great way to lose it. I personally skipped the Wilderness course, but it's not a terrible way to save a couple of hours on the way to 99. At level 60, you can start on the Sears Village Agility course. On its own, this course is very similar XP to the Wilderness Agility course, but if you complete the Candor and Hard Diaries, you can move your Camelot teleport from its normal location to right in front of the Sears Village Bank, which is where the course starts and cuts out a bunch of unneeded running. Candor and Diaries will also increase the amount of marks of grace that you get while you're here. The Sears Village is your best rooftop course from 60 to 90 agility, but once you're 20 levels higher than the rooftop course level requirement, in this case 80 agility, you get significant less marks of grace. This works for any course, even Canifis. That's why it's not worth staying at Canifis at 60 agility if you still need marks. On a main, this shouldn't be an issue at this point. You could stay on the course until 90, but for an Ironman, I do suggest switching to the Relica course for 80 to 90 agility. This way you get the most marks of grace you can for stamina potions, but if for whatever reason you don't care about getting any marks, you could stay at Sears Village. At 90 agility, you can now use the Ardoin Agility course. This course has a unique mechanic with the marks of grace. Normally a mark disappears if it's not picked up within 10 minutes of its spawning, but this timer resets if another mark spawns right on top of it. This tends to not help since your next mark of grace likely spawns in a different spot though, which won't reset your timer and you could lose marks. With the Ardy Agility course, there's only a single spot that a mark of grace can spawn, so you can just let them stack up over time. As long as you don't stand around too long or you log out before picking them up, you should be good to go. You get 25% more marks of grace from this course if you've completed the Ardoin Elite Diaries. This is also a pretty good time to bring up Alk Agility or Fletch Agility, whichever one you like. You can use High Alk or make some darts while you're running, and you don't need to bank for either activity, so between obstacles it's very possible to train either of those skills. This is very click intensive obviously, but it can turn your Fletching Cape into 0 time, or even as an Ironman if your Alks are stacking up, you might as well get some agility training in while you Alk. This can be done on most agility courses. Let's look into some other agility courses if you're not a fan of the rooftop path. Some of the fastest XP in the game for agility can actually come from the Werewolf Agility course. This is a much faster paced agility method with short amounts of time between each obstacle, but it only requires 60 agility and it can give 60k plus agility XP per hour. It's important that you wear weight-reducing clothing to not fail any of the obstacles here, so you might want to get your graceful outfit before you start this. The graceful hood won't matter though, since you can't wear anything in your helm slot while you do this. Agility is not very AFK in general, but rooftop courses require fairly little attention, just making it kind of great to catch up on your Netflix or some YouTube videos and Twitch stuff. But the Werewolf course requires your eyes a little bit more. You can still watch something with it, it's just clearly it's slightly less AFK now that agility was AFK in the first place. It can shave off some hours on the way to 99 overall though. I think the Werewolf course is pretty fun when you get in the swing of things, but I don't really prefer it for 99 since it sucks to do so many hours in a row of it. If you couldn't tell from the footage, the goal of the course is to fetch the stick that is thrown for you at the beginning and then return it to the Werewolf at the end. It doesn't take very long to get around the course. The Brimhaven Agility Arena requires 1 agility to enter, but it's highly recommended to have at least 40 before you try it out. On this course, you're not just trying to do lap after lap. There's actually a bunch of ticket dispensers spread out, and one of them has an arrow pointing over it. Your goal is to tag the dispenser with the arrow that's going to change every 60 seconds. The first one you tag, nothing's going to happen, but every dispenser after that, if you don't miss any, you're going to receive a ticket. This can be turned in for some agility XP, a recolored graceful set, which we'll talk more about later, or even some herbs or a pirate's hook. The Pirate's Hook's a very interesting way to make some money with agility. If you take the time to get 800 tickets required for the hook, it can add up to over 300k GP an hour. At high levels, this can be fairly quick XP if you're efficient and you use your tickets on agility XP, but it's not often used for just general training. If you complete the Karamja Medium Diaries, you get a 10% XP boost, and if you complete the Karamja Elite Diaries, you have a 10% chance at receiving double tickets each time you grab one. The Underwater Agility course is located off the shores of Fossil Island, which requires the Bon Voyage quest to access. You can use the rowboat system on the island to dive underwater, and this method works very similar to the Brimhaven dungeon. You'll be looking for a shell or the chest that has an arrow over it, and after that first tag, you can spam click any of them to try and steal mermaid tears and glistening tears from them. The glistening tears can be turned in for either agility XP, thieving XP, or a combination of both, and the amount of XP you get is based off of your agility or your thieving levels. Getting XP in just a single skill is comparable to the fastest method for each of them once you get to 99, so on the way to 99 it's not terrible XP, but if you use your tiers instead to get XP in both skills, you get a little over half those rates in each, which means it's a pretty good method if you're trying to get both 99 thieving and 99 agility. Clearly, if you did use this method to train to 99, you're going to get 99 thieving first, and then maybe you want to move on to just agility. It's not a bad method for training one or the other, and it's a very interesting course having to deal with not running out of oxygen and the shortcuts and currents around the area. The biggest benefit is being able to get that combined XP though. The agility pyramid's a pretty good balance between making some money and getting good agility XP, especially for mid-level agility. You only need 30 agility to start the pyramid, but it's suggested to have at least 45 before you do it, or you're going to fail a ton of obstacles and it's going to be frustrating. At 75 agility, you shouldn't fail any obstacles in the pyramid, and it actually becomes fairly quick. When you get to the top of the pyramid, you can take the artifact, which can be sold to the guy at the bottom for 10k a piece. It's possible to make around 200k an hour at very high agility levels, but it's mostly useful for Iron Men looking to make some money in the early game, since the XP rates aren't amazing, and you could make up for the money elsewhere. Those are all the training methods that I wanted to talk about. Let's go ahead and discuss the overall benefits of training agility. First, I want to get into the graceful outfit that I said I would come back to. Each of the 6 pieces gives a great weight reduction, but the full set also gives a 30% boost to your run restoration. You don't restore run energy when you're actually running, so this only helps when you're walking or you're standing still, but can still make a difference on activities when you're constantly moving. The full set of Graceful costs 260 marks of grace, and it's in an off-white color, but there's plenty of different recoloring options for the outfit. Each of the 5 houses on Zaya have their own version that you need 100% favorite in that house to get, including a brighter white set if you have 100% in each house. Recoloring the Graceful set on one of the Zaya options is going to require 15 marks of grace per piece, or 90 for the full set. You can also get a set that matches the Agility Cape well for 250 tickets from the Brimhaven Agility area. Having a higher agility level also restores your run energy a little bit faster. Don't underestimate the benefit of this. Being able to run constantly saves a lot of time in just about every aspect of the game, except like crafting and herb lore, which you just stand at the bank. There's a lot of money making methods out there and training methods in general that are a lot faster if you're using run restoration like stamina potions. And if you have higher agility level, you can reduce the amount of staminas you need, or maybe get rid of the need overall in a few cases. It's not going to be game-changing to the point that you need 99 agility just for this boost, but I highly suggest getting 70 plus agility on any main account. There's also a ton of shortcuts around OSRS that's going to cut down the amount of time of running you have to do. The biggest example is also at 70 agility. This pipe in the Taverley dungeon might get the most use of any agility shortcut, except for maybe the Falador shortcut that you use on the way from the Falador bank to the Taverley dungeon. Overall, for the benefits of agility, it passively saves you a lot of time during your other activities around the game. It's not so fun to train, but in the long run, it's going to be very beneficial for your account. I believe that's all the information I wanted to give you about training your agility, everybody. If you have any questions or even some tips of your own, be sure to leave those in the comments section so I can get back to you as soon as possible. If you got some useful information from this video or you just enjoyed in general, be sure to drop a like and subscribe for some more content. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed, and best of luck with your agility training.